What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Talk Punch. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Brody, joined by Tudong Dylan
Hey.
and the marvelous one, Charlie Hickman.
Thanks, B. Good to be here.
Happy to have you. Now, we love interacting with y'all, so please remember to be kind of those comments. And while you're here, whether you're watching us on YouTube or if you're listening in on the audio version of the podcast, wherever you get your podcast, make sure you head over and smash that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and then come back here every Wednesday to hang out with us and see what we're talking about. Kind of like this week's topic, we are ranking, not ranking, but we are, well, yes, we're ranking 10 Marvel Legacy films. So these are the films that are outside of the MCU. So the Spider-Man, the X-Men, stuff like that don't exist in the MCU. And we gathered 10 of them, put them in a rank. Dylan, tell the people how we go about this.
Thank you, Brody. Good suggestion. Basically, what we do, folks, is we try and convince each other, or we just basically agree on the top 10, or not, I shouldn't say top 10, but 10, the ranking of 10 best to worst of these movies. Bartering could happen, explanations could be made, friendships could be shattered, folks. But this is going to be the ranking that most closely resembles our decision as a group, our point of view.
So these will be the official Talk Talk Punch rankings of this.
They will shock you.
So let's take a look at the movies that we're talking about. So first up, we have Spider-Man 2. We have X2, X-Men United. We have Blade, the first one. Fantastic Four, Daredevil, X-Men First Class, The Amazing Spider-Man, Logan, Venom, and Deadpool. So we tried to pick movies that we were all familiar with. We tried to kind of pick one from each sort of franchise. You know, we've got some X-Men in there, but like the X2 is the Jackman stuff, First Class is other stuff, New Class stuff, and then Logan is kind of like that Wolverine series. Yes, they're all connected. Yes, Venom kind of showed up in the MCU, really briefly. We're not going to count.
Spoiler alert. I mean, technically, the other Spider-Man also showed up in the MCU.
Yeah.
However, all of them went back to their original universes once that spell was...
Yeah. And that doesn't make these movies any more part of the MCU just because there's a character over.
Yeah.
Right.
So we shuffled all these up. We're going to bring them out one at a time. We're going to place them into their little slots. Now, just because they get placed into a slot doesn't mean they're locked there. They may get moved around. Chances are they will get moved around as other things come out and we argue about it. And Dylan tries to put things at number 1 and Charlie wants them at number 10. And I say maybe number 8.
Unbelievable.
He always tries to make himself sound like the rational one. All right, well, okay, well, here's a good one to start because I do think Logan should be 10.
Oh, come now, Charlie. Logan is one of the ones that would be
I tease.
Like, this one's really high up there for me. Number 1? Number 2? Where do you guys want to start this? You started at number 1? You started at number 2?
I've never talked to you guys, I think, at length about this film. I did really enjoy it. It's definitely a top 5 for me. But Dylan's got like this weird smirk on his face, so I just can't tell what he's thinking.
Dylan, did you hate this movie?
No, not at all. No, I liked it a lot. Now, there are parts where I thought to myself, these people needlessly died. Like, and Logan was completely correct. I would put it at number 3. I started off at number 3. I could see it being at number 2, but there's some parts in the middle where, how often was he going to continue to be like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. All right, I'm doing this. And then he's like, once again, I won't do it. Not happening. All right, well, fine. You talked me into it. It hasn't even been 5 minutes. But I really did.
Three's good. Three's good to start. Three's good to start. Give us some room. All right. Give us room to negotiate and navigate either direction.
All right. Starting it at number 3. Next up. What?
If it goes up, I wouldn't be upset by that.
Okay. All right, next up we have The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I rewatched these recently. Not as bad as I remembered.
He really did not care who knew who he was. He really did not, like, blatantly, and nobody questioned these things. They're like, he just threw a ball that bent like this signpost here, or whatever, it was a field post or something, and they were like, what? Anyways.
All right, well, where do we want to start this? Or before we get too far.
Maybe 6?
6?
Whoa, really? I would have said I say 8.
Ooh.
7 then? Brody, what were you thinking?
I was actually feeling good with 6. With possibly going lower, but like I said, I actually kind of enjoyed this when I watched this.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping this one would come up later because so much of where this ends up is going to be based on, I think maybe the other movies more so than this one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Although I will say that over the years, man, my affection for Andrew Garfield has grown exponentially. Just a good dude, good actor, and probably a little bit of when this first came out, I had a little bit of Spider-Man fatigue, and I didn't want to see another origin story reboot thing. It was. So I think, yeah, your wisdom and age, I've enjoyed this one more than when it first came out.
Ooh, Dylan's not.
But like 6, I bet 6, 7, I think is a good spot for now, and then we can just move it around. But you and I both said 6, Brody, and you're the one in control, so just put it 6. Dylan be damned.
All right, next up, the Fantastic Four. This one I also watched within like the past year or two.
We're putting it 4, right?
Not as good as Man, I know that's cool to put it at 4.
It's got to be 4. It's the Fantastic Four. Where are you gonna put it?
It can't be.
Put it
It's not.
4.
What about if we had done Fantastic Four 2, we could have put it at 8.
8? 8.
When was the last time you watched this movie, Tudong?
I actually, hey, you know what? I liked Chris Evans' role in this. I thought he was fantastic. It's not like he had to do some feat of acting, but I thought, hey, he made this character who I really should not like at all likable. I liked his character. Was he a pain? Were the rest of them pains? Absolutely.
We've already talked about this too much. Put it at 9, and let's move on.
Great. 8, 9, yeah.
What? How about 8?
8's fine.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have Venom. I enjoyed this one. I watched it recently. I feel like I've watched a lot of these movies recently. I watched this like a week ago.
I say put it at 6. Put Amazing Spider-Man down.
6? That low, huh?
I'm not sure this is going to end up in my top 5, so I'm trying to do some quick math in my head here, but
okay. All right, so
can I say that because I just watched this as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen a big budget film where the two romantic leads had less chemistry than Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams. Like that was like there was there was no emotional investment, no heart whatsoever. It was like they were like an estranged brother and sister. Like it was such a weird lack of any kind of like they hated each other or something. It was just weird. Like, man, there was like just zero chemistry. But anyway.
All right. So not in the top 5. That's what I'm hearing, right? Is this above or below Spider-Man? Amazing Spider-Man. Above Spider-Man?
I put it above. Yeah.
All right.
It's a good popcorn flick. This is a.
I actually like the second one better than the first one, but
that's not a choice here, bro.
I know. All right, next up, X-Men First Class. Another one of my favorites. Really like this one.
Yeah, top 5 for sure.
Top 5 for sure. What do you think?
The question is how high?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is one that I have not watched in a while, and I'm curious what I would think if I watched it. If it kind of held up to what I kind of thought this was, a decade ago.
I'll say this about this movie: it showcased one of the mutant powers in such a terrifying way. Uh, what was the name of the guy? He was red. He had the same kind of teleporting as Nightcrawler.
Azazel.
When he was, or Azazel, yeah, when he was teleporting like up, like I don't know how many feet in the sky and just dropping the FBI agents, I was just like, that is
cool.
horrifying. I thought that was really cool. I liked it. I mean, I thought the entire thing. I loved Magneto. Oh, James McAvoy as young Charles Xavier, and
the Magneto Professor Charles Xavier.
They were fantastic.
Was great. All the other mutants, when you get like Angel and Darwin and stuff. Yeah, this kind of fell flat. I don't know.
Kind of switch sides really quickly. What do you think? 4?
I'm struggling if this is 2 or 4. I don't know.
Let's put it 4. Let's put it 4. Because I know that there's 2 coming that I would prefer ahead of it for sure. But I feel like we're gonna disagree on one of them, so no big deal.
Okay, Spider-Man 2. One of the best superhero movies ever.
Classic Tobey Maguire. He has absolutely grown into this role perfectly. He was a fantastic Spider-Man in number 1, and he had perfected it in number 2. You got classic Dr. Octopus, Dr. Otto Octavius, as a genius Alfred Molina in that role. I thought he was excellent. I loved Dr. Octopus. When I was growing up reading the Spider-Man comics, I always was like, it was an issue with Dr. Octopus. I was a happy person.
I saw this movie 5 times in one day on the opening day. That's my claim on this.
It was nice having a movie theater hookup back in the day.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. This is like 1 or 2 for me.
Agreed.
I'm trying to. I can't remember all these other things. So 1 or 2. What do you guys think?
We can move it. We can move it if we see another one.
Let's put 1 and then we reserve the right to change it if we find one we like better.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have Blade, the original Blade. I'm trying to get Blade 2 on this. You guys wanted
Wesley Snipes. His martial arts, unbelievable in this movie. The fight choreography, the sword fighting, excellent. Like, this is him at some of his like physical peak right here, and he was. I mean, it was one of those things where I'm like, yes, could he possibly take out an entire room like believably? Pretty much. Now, do I think Tobey Maguire could do that? Probably not. Like Andrew Garfield, maybe. Tom Hardy is, but I know, like, it's one of those things where it's like Wesley Snipes, he will kill everybody in the room with a sword. Love this.
And this was like one of the first big superhero movies, post like Marvel superhero movies. We had Superman, we had Batman, but like this came out before X-Men. This was a big deal.
It's a good movie. This is a top 5 for me. I don't know how you guys feel.
I agree.
I could say number 5.
Something in that 5.
I think 5.
Although we have 2 coming, okay. Now I'm kind of remembering what's left, and we're gonna have to do some shuffling here. So we'll have to figure this out.
Daredevil.
Because Daredevil needs to be in the top 5.
Number 1.
1 or 2.
What are you guys talking about? Why are you guys doing these things? Why are you doing them to yourselves?
He sleeps in a water chamber, too.
Unbelievable, bro. This is number 10. Nothing else.
If we didn't have this movie, we wouldn't have the Elektra spinoff.
Which is too bad to even watch and in like a satirical fashion. Too bad to watch. Which is Elektra. There we go.
Can I say that on Rotten Tomatoes, on their tomato meter, Daredevil has a 45% splat or 43% splat rate, and Venom has a 30% splat rate. So the critics hated Venom more than Daredevil, the original movie, according to Rotten Tomatoes. Which
but critics hate fun
not
things. Venom was a fun movie.
Daredevil really was not.
Yeah, Daredevil 10, I am more than comfortable with. We're gonna need to move Fantastic Four to 9, like I originally said, though. So
Okay. Well, next up we've got Deadpool.
Number 2, easy. 2 or 1.
Oh, I wouldn't put Deadpool above Spider-Man 2.
That's why he's at number 2.
You would put Deadpool over Logan?
I would, and purely based on the fact that I have not been tempted to watch Logan a second time after watching it once, even though I thought it was a good film, I enjoyed it. I have not said, you know what I want to watch right now? Logan, a long, drawn out, kind of moody. But Deadpool, Venom tried to do what Deadpool did really well, which was like kind of, R-rated comedy, like over the top action sequences with like this love story heart. But what they did better in Deadpool was actually give you a real love story. You want to talk about chemistry, man? That's some chemistry right there. That love story is the heartbeat of this movie, and it is fantastic. And when it came out, there was really nothing like it in the superhero universe. Ryan Reynolds just being going full 11 up to 11. Ryan Reynolds. They said, forget what you did in Blade Trinity. You're a better man now. And they gave him a chance. If you guys want to put this lower, look. This is just my opinion, but I really like Deadpool. I think it's really fun. I think it's a good rewatch.
No, I think we could do 2. Honestly, I think I need to watch Deadpool again. I haven't watched it in a while, and really? I feel like whenever it comes up, I'm always like, like it was good. I don't know. It's just not one. I know, and I love Ryan Reynolds. I don't know.
It's too much. It's too hard of an R for you, and that's okay. That's okay, bro. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, road.
All right. So yes, I agree.
But we can agree. Fantastic Four to 9, right? Come on.
Yeah. I see a bunch of shuffling here. Okay. Is there anything else that needs to shuffle before we drop in X2? So Daredevil is clear 10. Right?
Clear 10.
We're set on that. Fantastic Four, 9. Amazing Spider-Man, 8. Venom.
Hey, if you want to put Venom 8 instead of Spider-Man, I won't fight you, but
don't
think so.
All right, well, this is where it gets tough. How high do you guys like X2, or has this fallen off your radar as something that you once enjoyed?
I really like X2. I think it's still a really good movie.
The question is, do you think it's better than, let's say, X-Men First Class?
I think it's better than Blade.
Okay. Is it better than X-Men First Class?
Better than Class. See, the thing with First Class is that there are things in First Class that I really like, and then there's things that I'm like, about.
You got Wolverine going berserker mode in the.
It's true. We got like the first berserker mode. We get like the Weapon X stuff that was neat. You get Magneto just being like super powerful.
Really powerful.
You get like one of the Phoenix tease at the end. I remember walking out of the theater with you guys and being like, oh my gosh, they're doing the Dark Phoenix saga. I was so excited. It was one of the best like teaser endings I had seen up until that point.
But then they came out with the third one.
Doggone that third one. Why?
Oh, they just ruined it so hard. Such a faceplant. We should do an episode about biggest like sequel faceplants in the history of cinema, because that was such a faceplant. They had it set up so nice. Oh,
I'd probably have multiple X-Men movies.
What a horrible faceplant. Yeah, we just X-Men faceplant movies we can do. I'm torn on this one because I have not. I'll admit I have not watched this as recently as really any of the other top 5 I've watched more recently than X2. It's been a while. I watched Blade actually not that long ago, just because I was excited about the new Blade coming to the MCU.
Yeah.
I don't. There's a whole bunch of nostalgia wrapped up in this one, so that part of me wants to push it up. And then there's like, gosh, but at the time there just wasn't anything else doing this, and now there's so much else doing this. I don't know how well that's held up. So I'm going to defer to you guys. I'm really any spot left from 6 to like 3. I'm comfortable with this movie. So,
Tudong, where are you thinking?
I could see this at number 4, bro. I really could, because you've got classic. I mean, everybody is on top of their game. Famke Jensen, she has come to grips with, you know, I don't want to say the Dark Phoenix yet, but she has, like, you know, as Jean Grey. Halle Berry has completely dropped her accent. She realizes that's just not happening anymore in this movie. Is so sardonic, so dry. He just walks by. I remember when he's in that makeshift Cerebro, and the guy looks at him like, "What the hey?" And all he does is smirk and just, because the helmet. All of this, you have, you know. I love Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart as, you know, Professor X. All of them, if they were in any way kind of like feeling out their character in the first X-Men, of course, let's not forget Hugh Jackman, who is just unbelievable in the role. They are all in this one. They get it nailed down. Did they get it even more in Logan? Of course, because they had more practice. But I mean, like, this is like peak stuff right here, bro. Berserker mode in the mansion.
True, I know, that was an awesome scene. That was the first time we really got that.
Lady Deathstroke fight. Kelly Hu as Lady Deathstroke fighting Wolverine right into his back.
You're right. I think you're convincing me. Golly, I love the Matthew Vaughn so much too. I wish he had stuck around for more of those movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, X-Men 2 was, you know, you had the Nightcrawler, that like opening scene with Nightcrawler bamfing throughout the White House was just like amazing to watch.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was so sucked that he wouldn't. I mean, it makes sense that he didn't come back, but I mean, he was so cool as Nightcrawler. Yeah. So cool.
Was the Anna Paquin casting, was that the worst of, like, as Rogue? Was that, or did you guys like that casting? She was so much younger than everybody else.
She was a lot younger. She fell more into like the Jubilee role than Rogue role.
Yeah. I got very confused by that. I was like, wait, she's Rogue, but she's not Jubilee?
Yeah, but they had Jubilee in this, in X2.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Which is also, yeah, anyway. I like the look of this. I like the look of this.
How do you guys
Did you guys like Days of Future Past better or First Class?
You know, I really liked Days of Future Past, and I thought about getting Days of Future Past in, but I have such a fond memory of First Class. I think especially because we were coming off of X3, where you're convinced that like this franchise is dead, man. This thing, it's dead and buried. There's no coming back. Look, they're rebooting it, but they're not. It's kind of like a soft reboot, and it was such a neat take, taking place in the 60s. You know, you had younger Magneto, younger Professor X. I really loved that. I was so excited for that.
Yeah.
Didn't this come out after X-Men Origins Wolverine? Didn't it come out after that? Like, it was really
I think so. Yeah, it did. It did.
Another one, the X-Men Origins, like Magneto or something like that, and then they're like, we're just gonna do First Class.
Yeah, they were gonna do like Magneto, like Nazi Hunter Magneto.
Right.
That would have been a really cool. That stupid Wolverine movie with his cartoon claws. Ruined everything.
All right, so you guys are good with this?
I like this. It looks good. It's a nice
you good with this?
Nostalgia. Are you guys comfortable with Deadpool 2? I kind of pushed hard on that. If you guys would like to push back, I can understand.
Deadpool 2 is not on here.
No. Deadpool at number 2. Deadpool 2 is not good. I did not enjoy Deadpool 2 nearly as much.
All right. Well, if we're good with this, no, I'm good with Deadpool at number 2. So I think that's fine. Okay, so going from the bottom to the top, at number 10, we've got Daredevil. Number 9, we've got Fantastic Four. Number 8, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man. Number 7, we have Venom. Number 6, we have Blade. Number 5, we have X-Men First Class. Number 4, we have X2, X-Men United. Number 3, we have Logan. Number 2, we have Deadpool. And number 1, we have Spider-Man 2. Really is.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
I like it.
Good job. There is the official Talk Punch rankings of these Marvel Legacy. You guys have anything else to add to this?
Man, that gap between 8, 9, and 10, that's a big teardrop right there.
It's a big gap. And we had talked about putting some stuff like the Ghost Riders in. There's actually like a lot of these movies. We were kind of struggling to narrow it down to 10, and we're like, what do we add? Do we add all these X-Men movies? Do we try to throw something like a Punisher in there? Do we try to get a Ghost Rider? The Ghost Rider 2, which was just bonkers.
Is that one of the more surprising things that's ever happened? That not only was there a Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider, but they gave him a sequel? That's surprising
I liked
to me.
the sequel more than I liked the first one. It was done by the same guys that did Crank. So it was just...
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it was just off the wall bonkers, man.
I have not seen it, I will admit.
Spirit of Vengeance. Maybe, that's what it's called.
Maybe one
Ghost
of these
Rider
days.
Spirit of Vengeance.
Don't actually be the first one to watch the second one. And I know this because I watched the second one without having... I still haven't seen the first one.
The first one wasn't good. First one wasn't good.
It doesn't matter if you saw the first one or not. It's still right there. And it even just... Yeah, it's...
Hey, fun bit of trivia. That's the second movie that Nicolas Cage has ever played with his face off.
It's the third. It's part 2.
No, just the Ghost Rider franchise. Although I guess technically in Wicker Man, it does melt off. All right, so
he did.
We have a wonderful top 10 here for you. Let us know your thoughts here. What's your order? Your top 10? Make sure if you're, make sure you put them out, list them out. Give us your 10, your order. If there's some other legacy movies, maybe you love the Ghost Riders and we're over here poo-pooing them. Let us know we're wrong. You love Nick Cage with his flaming face, little bone skull. All right, and if you like this content, or even if you hate it and want to hate watch some more, there's videos below me. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can come on here and love and hate us, and hate our lists and love our lists all at the same time.
Please don't hate us.
Please don't hate us. All right. Hey, that was a first-class outro right there.
Oh, perfect. Bye.